Bad Neighbours 2 is directed by Nicholas Stoller, who I believe directed the first one, and stars everyone from the first one, plus more. So you got Seth Rogan, Byrne, Zac Efron, and newbie Chloe Grace-Moretz. And similar to the first one, we start off with Seth Rogan and Byrne as they're living in their house, but this time they have just sold their house. But while they're in escrow, which I found out for the first time in this film what that means, a sorority moves in next door and jeopardises everything. As happens all the time, I am sure. So I really enjoyed the first film. I found it absolutely hilarious and loved it. Thought it was just my type of humour. Stupid humour, really. And so I went into this one expecting more of the same, and it was more of the same, but with some twists and more stuff. Now I'll start off by saying I did really enjoy this film. I had a blast with it. I thought it was probably a better film than the first one in a lot of senses. I'll put it out there, it wasn't as funny as the first film. I didn't find it as funny. I think part of the reason why it wasn't as funny as the first one is because in terms of the humour, it was a lot of the same stuff. There were some twists with the humour and some of it was flipped around, but it was very similar type of humour and situations as the first film, just with women instead of men. But that being said, in terms of story and character, this film is 10 times better than the first one. The characters that moved across from the first one were developed and had already changed by the end of the first one, and then they developed further, which I thought was really good for a comedy as well. You don't often see that. Take 22 Jump Street, for example. That film I found hilarious. The first one I love, and they do it really well, but the two films are pretty much exactly the same, and they reference that in the second one. They don't really develop the characters much anymore. Bad Neighbours 2, it did, and then it took the story to a lot of other places as well, which again I was really shocked at. The story in this time was a lot deeper. It had a much stronger message as well, about equality between sexes and female empowerment. And one thing that I did really like in this film, which surprised me, is the way that it subverted stereotypes. And it sounds really stupid for a comedy film that you've probably seen the trailer and you just think it's going to be a laugh, but not only did it subvert stereotypes for women, but they introduced some gay characters as well without batting an eyelid, and their sexuality wasn't made a joke. It was just, these characters are gay, they're in it. And I thought that was really clever, really brave for a film like this to do. I just thought it was great. The story and the plot, the development was fantastic, and I wasn't expecting that kind of thing. I was just expecting to go and have a laugh, but all of that really added to the experience and really boosted the film up for me. That's something that some people might not like. They might just want a laugh, a mindless comedy, similar to what the first one was, and that's fine. It might put some people off. For me, it didn't. It elevated the film and replaced the humour with something else. So even though it's not as funny as the first one, there are still hilarious moments in there, and I still found myself chuckling, and there's a lot of playing on the young teenagers moving into the house, into the sorority, against, again similar to the first one, against the old neighbours. But they did do it in a different way, and there were some hilarious moments in there. There's some moments from the trailer that weren't in the film, which surprised me. I know they do it quite a lot, but they did that with the first film and with this film. There are a lot of clips that just didn't make the cut into the final film, which surprised me because there were some really funny moments. All in all, even though it's not as laugh out loud funny as the first film, I still think it's a better film because the plot is better, the character development, the message in there, subverting stereotypes, all deeper things that you just wouldn't expect from a comedy like this anyway. And so I'm going to give Bad Neighbours 2, also known as Neighbours 2 Sorority Rising, 78 out of 100, which is a B. And yeah, it seems to be, so far, quite a good week in terms of films that I'm reviewing, so maybe the next one will be a B too. I think maybe I need to see some really bad films because a lot of the films I've been to see I've quite liked, and I see anything above a C, that's quite a good grade, so I don't know, maybe I need to see some films that look terrible. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at DoGoodFilmsUK, and you can follow me on Instagram, Jordan_DoGood. Everything is below in the comments and here maybe. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I haven't got many subscribers, but the ones that keep coming back, thank you so much. And any newbies, click that subscribe button. You know you want to, and I will keep posting reviews. As always, let me know what you want me to review, and if you want me to do anything, just let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.